bottleneck, building a fizzer. Both wanna be right, lose sight, can't cut with one blade in a scissor. Are you willing to go away when I want you to...
You found it! You found the podcast that kicks the cool to the curb. I'm your big sister, Shishi.
And I am your big little brother, Tone.
And I'm your little brother, Wopsle.
And we are going to bring you some reviews that you didn't even know you needed. And apparently, I am high energy today.
Whoa.
Some kind of energy.
I threw my fist in the air for that.
Yeah, high energy means you are putting forth a lot of energy, or high energy where you can't get off the couch.
Yeah, right. Like that would ever be the case.
That's what you're talking about. We know.
Well, I will tell you why I'm so high energy, because I laughed a lot while I was perusing the internet today. So Tony, there was let me get over there because I want to make sure I get this right. There was a video that our friend Russell posted.
Okay.
And the video was of a little bitty manta ray or a stingray, I don't know, one of those ocean-dwelling creatures eating a fish head. So it was a cute little video. And then a man named Timothy, says, "This video is just like me, both adorable and disturbing at the same time, winky face." And you said, "It's also not very long."
I don't think I included a smiley face with it either.
You did not. And that is the point that I am trying to make right here. It made me think about how funny deadpan comments are and how dangerous they are. Because I know you, and I laughed so hard about 20 minutes before we got on here. I was going to talk about something else until this popped up. So
well, yeah. What else can you talk about? You know what's great is whenever you do one of those and you go, "Oh yeah, I just nailed it. I just won the internet today." Like, it doesn't happen very often, but once in a while you're like, "Oh yeah, everybody look at me."
Yeah. And aren't you also kind of worried a little bit that they're going to go, "Hey, why are you hurting my feelings?" Or, "Hey, I don't understand." Sure. Or
yeah, yes, I'm very worried.
Yeah, but you do it anyway because it's so worth it when it hits.
Yeah, well, and it's also, of course, you're going to look at who are you involving in this fun.
Yes.
So like if it's a good friend or somebody their comedy, their brand of humor is a certain way, then you can go ahead and do it. But
isn't it weird?
I'm more careful than most people about that.
Well, but isn't it weird though that I'm with you, Tone, that you know who you can make a deadpan joke like that toward. But we're doing these deadpan jokes to each other on the internet in front of the world. So who knows who all read that? It was like, man, this guy, I don't even know him, but he is a real jerk.
Yeah.
If he had given me a...
Don't feed the troll.
Yeah, giving me a winky emoji or something, I would have thought he was joking around. But these guys have real beef.
Even if just after your statement, you just put an eggplant in there. That's it's something as simple as that.
About any emoji would have lightened the mood.
Widen that.
Yeah. Or even like an ambulance emoji. Anything would have worked, I think, just to get the point across. It's funnier without the emoji, but it's more likely to offend. But in my world, it's a price I'm willing to pay. Other people being offended is a price I'm willing to pay for better comedy.
Normally I'm not, and today I was.
Well, and
just a brief moment.
So how well do you know this Timothy? Do you know him well?
Yeah, we worked together for about 2 years at Dobson Cellular.
Okay.
Worked in the same department as when I first got there. And he is definitely one of the funniest men you'll ever come across. So
you knew he would appreciate it. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, and even more so than that, I knew that Russell was going to see it and laugh even harder than Tim did. So I was really excited about that. I did not think about that you might see it, and now I'm very excited because I want my comedy stylings to be all over the internet. Really.
Is this what going viral is like?
Thank you.
Did you just go viral? I think, Tone.
Let me feel.
Everybody's talking about it.
Everybody's talking about this comment.
Everybody's talking about.
So I do, I think that deadpan comedy is the cause of a lot of like message group misunderstandings.
Well, definitely you got to say in the era of texting, because that texting, you said it's hard to, it's hard to know when you could tell a dry joke like that, but by text, it's 10 times worse. And the young kids, all they do is text. They get really weirded out when you talk to them in face to face.
Yes.
Let me bring up this. Has this guy's happened to you? Because this has happened to me, where I like that kind of comedy. So someone has texted me something that I assumed was that kind of comedy.
I know where you're going. Yeah.
But it wasn't. They meant it. So
then you're like,
I'm like,
well, that's
LOL,
really sad
good one,
all.
man. And then they're like, but no, seriously, you need to stop it. Or you need to do that thing. Or
Yeah.
So has that happened?
No,
Yeah.
seriously,
Are
I
we
need the
talking-
report by the end of the day.
Right.
No, seriously.
Are we talking about your wife here, Wopsle?
No, it's definitely a work thing. Like a, are you going to be here at this thing? And I'm like, LOL. And they're like, but no, seriously, where are you?
Yeah, so I
okay.
like this. So the deadpan on the internet is dangerous, but it's not as dangerous in person. And I really do, I do deadpan without even knowing I'm doing it. My kids tell me
you're
all
so
the
good at
time.
it.
They ask me if I'm serious, and I'm like, what? I was smiling. No, you weren't. So, I think that it's not on purpose. Deadpan for me is not on purpose, but it's still effective. It's still effective. So let's keep doing it, everybody. Let's keep on. And eventually we will all probably not be mad at each other about it. Let's just see what happens. Go for it.
Oh, no.
Let's let your deadpan fly. Okay. Well, hey, I think we should get into the reviews now. And this is, we're not going to be deadpan. It's hard to be deadpan during a review. So Tone is up first. What do you got, Tone?
What's the opposite of deadpan? Live bowl? I'm wondering what's comedy that's not deadpan.
Yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da. Na, 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 na.
You nailed it. You're right. That's not deadpan.
I know what it is. I'm asking what the name of it is.
What the name of it is. I was
Yeah.
going to give you an example.
Well, that was a great example.
Thank you.
It really was.
It is wet comedy. You got dry comedy and you have wet comedy. That's what I call it. And
Can we never call it that again, though?
and we probably
That's
you
the
guys
question.
don't have to. That's okay.
The rest of the world, you're off the hook. You don't have to.
Check out some of my wet comedy.
The wet comedy of
Zany.
Tone.
It's zany.
The wettest. It's the wettest.
I think that non-deadpan comedy is just normal comedy, because usually when you're speaking, you're more animated and you kind of try to get your point, try to get your emotions across.
I guess what I'm saying is I feel like if there's normal comedy and then there's deadpan, I also want to know what Ace Ventura is, because it's the other end of the spectrum. And that's
Zany.
where it's like
Yes.
live deadpan and live cup.
pan.
I think it's live cup.
Live pan.
Yeah.
Live cup? Okay. Oh, okay. That's what you said a while ago that I didn't understand.
Well, I don't know, just whatever.
Okay.
Utensil, live fork.
I like that. Your pan is dead, but hey, my fork's alive.
And I'm going to poke you with it.
All right. Well, as you guys know, every week we start off, our first review is a listener suggested topic, and I'm really excited about the one we're doing today. We'll get into it. So we're going to review Garage Doors by
yeah.
Tammy R.
Awesome.
Tammy, thank you so much for sending this in, and I'm very excited about Garage Doors. Wopsle, what do you think about Garage Doors, man?
I don't think of them often, so I'm anxious to see what we come up with. But here's the first thing I think about garage doors. They're one of those things in your house where it works correctly for so long with no appreciation whatsoever.
Right.
And then one day, it doesn't matter if it's been 10 years of working correctly. One day, if it doesn't work, you hate it and are so mad at it. Doesn't matter how
appalled,
many
and
times it's gone up and down correctly. When it doesn't, all of a sudden, you're like, I can't believe it. What is happening here? We lose our minds. The first thing that comes to mind for me with garage doors is actually it's a bad memory. I was just pranking around, but one time I found out you could set your switches. There's these 8 switches in garage door openers. Back in the day there was. And you could set them to different things. And so one day I set it to a thing and just drove around neighborhoods pushing the button over and over and over. And one out of every 8 garage door just opened. Just strangers from my garage door opener. Yeah. And I thought it was so funny.
Awesome.
But now looking back, it's like, how scared would you be if you're just in the house and then your garage door's open? Or if you come home from something and your garage door is just open. And I did that to a lot of people.
You terrified so many people.
I feel so upset about it.
Yeah.
You realize that you just we have a lot of criminals that listen to this podcast, and you just taught them how to steal things.
Well, after he taught him how to use a shiv, I didn't think that it was really a big deal.
Maybe we should mark it on our criminal activity tips.
Yeah.
That's what we need to review next. Criminal activity tips.
Top 10. Top 10 tips for criminal activity. Here you go. Step 1, open the garage.
I'm not a pranker, but that appeals to me. That seems like a very non-disruptive prank, just to open someone's garage door. And they're going to come out there and close it again. But if they don't, then they could get murdered in their sleep. So it may not be a funny prank after all. I take it back.
Well, and how long would you be nervous about the fact that it just opened? Like every night when you go to bed, you're like, is it just going to open tonight again?
Forever.
Forever, right? You would never get rid of that feeling.
Hey, Wop, so why can't you sit there and park just enough down the street where the people in the house are not going to notice you? But you wait and you open the garage door and then wait until they close it. And the moment it closes, you open it back up and just keep doing that. That would be really funny.
Yeah, what I was doing was just kind of barely silly, sort of pranky, That's straight sociopath. Just to sit there and do it to someone over and over. That's too much. Oh, that's evil. It's so bad. But it would be
how scared funnier. Would they get? At some point, they'd have to get scared.
The third time, they'd come out with a for sale sign and just put it in the front of the yard and then go back in.
Yes.
Honey, we're selling the house again.
It's happening again.
I don't know if this is something. Tammy happened to mention to me why it is that she wanted us to review garage doors, actually. And it's because she was going on a walk around her neighborhood. And in her neighborhood, it was kind of a lot of the same houses and they all had garage doors. And she was just thinking about the variety, about, everybody's got all these different garage doors. And she was going around looking, some of them are painted. Some of them look like woody. Some of them have intricacies and flourishes on them. So that was kind of what got her to thinking about it. Is everybody's got these garage doors on their houses and they're all different.
Do you feel like it's a status symbol?
Oh, it is a little bit, sure.
So my status is very low since I don't have one at all.
All right, so let me ask you this. You're talking about all the different garages and garage doors. We've all seen garages that have been turned into an extra room.
Mm-hmm.
Use the garage door opener on one of those. So there's somebody's laying in bed just chilling asleep, and you open up their wall.
That's next level. Great. That's next level. Because not only all of a sudden now you're in their bedroom, which is hilarious, but also they got clothes hanging on the tracks along the top.
Yeah.
No.
All those are falling off. You've really just wrecked their situation, but not beyond repair. I think it would be a prank level of wrecking. which is what I'm looking for.
Done that yesterday. April Fools.
I opened your wall.
I opened your wall.
Well, your clothes are dirty now. So I have never owned a house with a garage, or I've never lived in a house with a garage, but my boyfriend has a garage, and he will start mashing the button about 3 blocks away from his house. And because he wants it to start opening as soon as possible so that he can just slide right in there. Only problem is it happened one time that it started opening about 1.5 blocks down the road. And so now he thinks it should do that every single time. And so he's just mashing and he gets mad. He gets mad when it doesn't start until he gets right in front of his house. I'm like, isn't that a good thing? Do you want someone to be able to?
Yeah, I get
And of
that.
course,
That's a great point.
His garage door his garage is so full of junk that he can't get his car in there, but he still wants to go through that direction. He still wants to enter the house through the garage.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I think we've done what we could. So let's rate this puppy. Wopsle, would you please give garage doors a rating?
Yeah, garage doors, I rate it for sale, no ghosts. That's what the sign would say.
The garage is for sale?
I mean, depends on what the offer is, I think. Could you sell just the garage, but you're going to keep the house?
The garage is the only part that's haunted. The rest of the house is fine.
Garage sale. There you go.
Garage
no
sale.
Ghosts.
You sell someone your haunted garage.
Yes.
That's pretty good, man.
Okay, yeah, it's good.
Shishi.
Literally.
What do you rate? What do you rate garage doors?
I rate garage doors 4 out of 5 blocks of mashing buttons.
I'm going to rate garage doors 1 out of 1 malfunctioning clickers. That's what I'm going to rate it. And one out of 1 is 100%, so that's good.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And malfunctioning clickers are bad, so...
Oh, dang. I always forget that part.
We should have rated them 1 out of 8 garage doors going up by themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you, Tammy R., for that suggestion. And we are going to move on now to Wopsle. Wopsle's got our second rating today, or review. What do you got?
What I want to review today is remodels. Uh-oh. This just in.
Wow.
Right here on the Kick the Cool podcast. This is a review that has been submitted by a listener, but I didn't know that whenever I chose for my review today.
This is the news.
It's hot news. It's hot off the presses. It's a hot take, everybody. This is a accidental listener suggestion. So thank you, Kim P., for suggesting this. It was a great idea, obviously, which is why I also came up with it on my own. So we're mashing it together. This just in, house remodeling. That's what the people need to know about. What do you think about remodels?
I have to stop laughing about the accidental listener suggestion before I can talk. Well, I have done a lot of remodeling, but never like one big remodel project. So, I mean, everybody knows that I am a DIYer. I enjoy doing all of the things around the house. And so I often will start, do something around the house until it's usable, and then I stop. So like I'll build a wall, but I'll just put off putting the trim up. So it's just, or I will just leave it unmudded and taped for a long time, or, that kind of thing. So it never looks good, but it keeps the cold out.
Yeah, that's a good distinction. I do think in our family, remodel means small, unfinished projects, right? That's really what we mean. Whereas other people probably mean like tear down the kitchen and rebuild it. We're just like, partially do a job.
Yeah, I added a trash can under my sink.
Right. Ooh, I like your remodel.
I like what you've done with the place.
Yeah, I did remodel my kitchen, and I'll tell you how I did it. I took the cabinet door. We had like a tall pantry with 2 cabinet doors, one on top and one on bottom. I took the one on the top, and I put the hinges on the bottom of it so that it swung down and became a table. That was my whole kitchen remodel. Wow. Same paint. Everything was the same, but that door swung down, and I used a 2x4 as the leg, and it's still that way. So that was the extent of my remodel.
I don't know if you understand how English works when you're saying home remodeling. I don't think you get what's that? I took a 2x4 and stuck it on a cabinet.
Hey, that's a Bobby Carmen method right there.
It really is. Uncle Joe, he'll pull off
Uncle
some
Joe
of that
method.
stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so Tom, what do
that's
you
somebody
think
who
then?
does a lot of remodeling.
Tom, what do you think then? You got it figured out? What a remodel?
Well,
is?
yeah. I mean, what you have to do is here in Seminole, there's a place I'm looking at on byyyyye.com, and there's a place that's called HD Bathroom Remodeling. So if you wanted to get your bathroom alone remodeled and this time have it in high definition, then you can do that through them, and that's pretty cool. HD Bathroom Remodeling.
Well, my bathroom's 480p, so I need some help.
480. Oh my.
Mine's analog, so
P. Analog, get it?
Don't bring up poop.
I love it when you crack yourself up over poop.
Me too.
Oh, buddy. So you're thinking of an outsourcer. You're saying if you want to remodel, you get somebody to come in and give you the high definition.
Yeah, because just have a pro do it. You have time, an allotted amount of time that you need to sit on your couch, and so that's when you have them come over and do it. HD.
Do you have to wear your VR goggles?
No, he does.
He
wears the
As he's
VR
making
goggles.
it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because it's not really, it's a virtual remodeling, if you will.
When I think of remodeling, I remember growing up, our mother, to her credit, I feel like I can do lots of things because our mother just did it, right? She just changed the brakes on the car. I just get in there and I just do it.
Right.
And we did the same thing. So I'm pretty good with electricity and I can move stuff around and add outlets and stuff like that. But I do remember in the house that we lived in Prague, remember the bedroom that in the front of the house, the one that I had most of the time, it was right there on the bathroom. And so Mom decided to build a wall. So there was a hallway. So you could go to the bathroom or you could come into my bedroom. I don't know if you guys remember, but we framed that wall out one weekend. And at least for 4 years, it never received a piece of drywall on it whatsoever. And in fact, that house burned down before we ever put a piece of drywall on that framed out wall. So I just had to walk in between 2x4s to get into my room. And I had what could someday be a wall, but it was just a framed out wall.
Yeah. Right. I don't know if you realized this, but the doorway to that bedroom and the bathroom there used to be over right next to where it ended up. So, God, I can't remember if we moved it closer to the bathroom door. It was right there next to the bathroom door, right? The opening.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But that's why it was unfinished, because we moved it over and like we do, we never finished it. It was open. We could walk through it and that was it. So maybe we did that for that wall purpose, but it seems like we did that part a long time before you moved into that front bedroom. So I think that part might have been for Tony and me, because that was our bedroom that we shared.
Right. Yeah, it may have been. Now, and one thing too to remember, when we were moving that door, inside the wall, they had this. When was the house built? The
house was built in 1940.
Okay, and there was a sketched picture of a naked woman in there. So they were stashing their porn.
Yeah,
like Titanic style, just like a sketch.
And you know what? I thought that we would put it back in there and let the next person find it, which I wish I hadn't done that, because the house burned down and now it's gone. We should have just kept it. But yeah, I mean, that's something you don't think about when you remodel stuff. You can find all kinds of things in the walls.
Yeah,
Dead rats.
I recently added a thing here and I opened up this wall, and I found this house was built in 1982, and I found a bunch of stuff from the workers. There was like bottle caps and stuff from Pepsi bottles, and a old package of Marlboro cigarettes that was all just kind of in the wall from when they were working, and you could tell it was really old school. And there were also some pieces from the game Cootie, which we have a new version of the game Cootie, but these are pieces from 1982, and they were much different. And I was just really envisioning all these workers, smoking their cigarettes and they're drinking their sodas, and on their break they're catching a quick game of Cootie.
Isn't that the one where you flip things across the board or something? So
it's the one where you build the little bug.
You put legs on it.
Put legs on it, yeah. So it was all cootie legs, those little yellow plastic cootie legs.
That was probably bring your kid to work day. And you know how kids like to put things in other things. They were probably like, and the mom was like, honey, what did you do with all your cootie legs?
I left.
They're in the wall. What? Yeah.
What?
And then a full 40 years later, I find those cootie legs here in the wall. There's somebody driving by this house real slow once a month or so. Just man, I wonder if they found those cootie legs yet. I really want to go ask them, but it's awkward at this point.
Well, that's what I was going to say is like you go in and you go up and knock on the door and you say, hey, I lived here when I was a kid. And I was just wondering if I could just kind of come in and, just kind of get some memories and think about when I lived here. And they're like, well, of course, that's beautiful. Come on in. You want something to drink? Okay. And then they don't see it, but you obviously have a hammer in the back of your pants, and you just walk right over to that place you think it's going to be and start hammering.
I kind of hope that person comes up and just knocks on the door. You open the door and they say, you found them cootie legs yet?
And nod.
And nothing else.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to wink.
I was thinking deadpan. You went for the fork.
Yeah, you went for the live fork comedy.
Hey, you got them. And you got to say it just like that.
Hey,
you found them cootie legs yet?
You found them cootie legs yet?
Hey, I got a serious question to ask you.
And you got a clipboard? You're standing there on the porch with a clipboard? Hey, can I see a question? Do you have time for a quick question? I guess so, yeah. You found them cootie legs yet? And then just check mark and move on. Check mark, keep walking.
Thank you. Just do a whole street. The neighbors are all going to come out the next day and be like, hey, did you guys... That was weird.
Oh, it'll be on Nextdoor long before.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately on Nextdoor. Hey, what's up with this cootie legs guy?
Yeah. He's suspicious.
I feel like we've got lots of... this episode's all about how to, like, creep out your neighbors.
Yeah.
So how to make...
I think it's because it's April 2nd and it was just now April Fool's Day. So that's kind of... I think we're getting a little bit of that energy going.
Maybe.
I think you're right. Okay, well, we're doing home renovations, I think is what this topic is supposed to have been. So, Shishi, you're up first today. What do you rate home renovations?
I'm going to rate home renovations 3 out of 4 2x4 table legs.
Oh, nice.
3 out of 4 isn't enough if you're talking about table.
Right. Yeah, you get it. You get me.
Okay. I get it's unfinished and kind of crappy. Okay, yeah, that's what remodeling is.
But if you're real careful, you can use it.
Okay, right.
Yeah, kind of like a three-wheel ATV. You can use it.
Yeah.
But you might want to watch it.
All right. Tone, what do you rate home remodels?
Well, there's only one thing I could rate it, and this is going to be a little different because I'm not going to use any numbers or, single alphabet letters. I'm going to rate home remodeling, which is really what we said at first, remodeling. I'm going to rate home remodeling high definition.
Yeah.
That's all the rating we need.
High definition.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. Somebody write that down so to trademark it. Mail it to yourself.
Just did.
Seal the envelope. Okay, good. All right. Well, I'm going to rate home remodeling 10 out of 10 cootie legs.
I was hoping someone would rate it cootie legs.
Y'all got them cootie legs?
Hey.
Y'all got the cootie legs?
Y'all got them. That's our next t-shirt. Right, jot it down. Order it. Hey, y'all found them cootie legs yet?
I can't wait.
It's gonna be
Can't wait to get that t-shirt. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we got to make some money, y'all. So it is time to go to the 5-star review. Let's go.
Let's go. Get it.
When you're left with a stain, you're so damn fed up that you gotta complain. Write a letter, you'll feel better. Reviews.
All right. So today's 5-star review is brought to you by Bean Dip. Bean Dip is sponsoring us today.
Bean dip.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Love bean dip.
That sounds like the noises you might make like half an hour to an hour after the bean dip. So let's talk good things about Bean Dip, y'all. We got to talk it up.
Well, I mean, the first thing is they gave us so much money. I couldn't believe it. I was
All the money.
I didn't know that Big Bean Dip was that,
Apparently they're doing pretty good. Yeah. To be able to pay like they have.
Yeah. Big Bean Dip's got a stranglehold on the economy. And we got
That
a little
was,
piece
though,
of it.
we had a guy sophomore year that was his nickname. So I don't,
Oh, yeah? Can you say who it was?
Big Bean Dip.
Big Bean Dip. No, I can't. I don't want to out him.
Don't want to add him for
If he wants to
silly
come out,
name.
he can do it.
Oh, I can't wait. Does he listen to the podcast?
No.
Oh, well, he's dead to me then. I take that name back.
Here's my thing about Bean Dip is you get it and you bring it home, but then you put it in the fridge. Do you guys get it just so chilly? That chili bean dip.
Yep. And
like
It's
like bean ice cream that you're scooping out with a chip.
God.
Yes.
Okay.
Like froyo, but bean flavored.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome to think
Man,
about.
I can't get enough.
So, do you ever try to smooth the top? Like dip it so that it's completely smooth on top? I mean, it's like a toy and a meal and a snack all rolled into one.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's right.
you don't really, I mean, you could eat it with a spoon, but why when Ruffles are so good?
I got to go
Or
with those
Fritos.
scoops.
The
Fritos
are both
scoops.
good. Uh-huh.
Well, when we were kids, scoops didn't exist. So we were using those tiny little breakable pieces of Fritos.
Yeah, you kind of had to like get your finger behind it just the perfect
Yeah.
amount to like
And then you
reinforce it. Yeah.
And you end up sticking your finger.
Getting it all
Just all
over
up
your
in the dip.
fingernail.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, did you know if you take bean dip out of the container just with your hands and you flatten it out on newspaper and kind of push it down real hard, when you pull it up, the newspaper will be on the bean dip.
I did
Did you
not
know that?
know
It's like
that.
in reverse. Yeah.
Bean dip. It's
Yeah.
so versatile.
Okay, let me ask this. If you wad it up into a ball, will it bounce off the
you should try and see.
laundromat floor?
Yes, it does.
It does? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I figured they had already done a study. Someone had done a study on that. but
Tony, why
I
don't
hadn't
you
heard
go
any
ahead and go
results.
get a can of bean dip and get your video going and just do it for our listeners, and we'll put it on Facebook and we'll show them how well it bounces. Why don't you go ahead and do that?
Oh, okay. All right, I'll be right back. Bye. Just kidding.
I
I'll do it
just
later.
I was trying to type in bean dip laundromat. And you know how whenever you're typing something into the internet and it'll like autocomplete, like, hey, you must mean this thing. I've never had my computer fight against me as hard as it just did as I was trying to type in bean dip laundromat. With every letter, it was like, surely you mean something different.
No one's ever said
That's
what
really
you're trying to
satisfying when
say.
that happens. It's like, I did something unique.
Yeah.
Beat the internet.
All right. Well, thanks for all the money, Bean Dip. We appreciate it. Thanks, Bean Dip.
Thanks, Bean Dip.
Thanks, bean dip.
With a stain, you're so damn fed up that you gotta complain. Write a letter, you'll feel better. Reviews.
Okay, so for our last review, I'm going to review Frontier City. Frontier City. For those of you who are out of the area, Frontier City is our local Oklahoma City amusement park. And it was recently acquired by Six Flags. So it used to be independent. Now it's Six Flags. But I have a season ticket to that bad boy. And I intend to use it.
Wow.
So, Tone, what do you think about Frontier City?
Well, you guys are not going to believe this. No one listening will believe this. Maybe if you know me pretty well, you might go, "Oh yeah, that's Tone all the way." When I got married, my wife said, "Where do you want to have our honeymoon?" And I said, "I want to go to the funnest cheap place I can go." And that's Frontier City. Me and my ex-wife went to Frontier City for our honeymoon. How white trash is that?
Oh, that's incredible.
I love it.
And we had a blast. We had a really good time.
It's all about spending time together. It doesn't matter where.
Well, then I heard somebody making fun of it. They honeymooned.
You didn't stay the night there, did you? That might have been weird.
Well, we did. We got off the ride at one spot where there was a little.
You slept
piece
under
of
the
concrete
wildcat, under the stars.
Oh, the rattling of those wooden roller coasters just.
Hey, I will say
puts me
this.
right to sleep.
That's I don't know how to start this, but when you were a kid and you were deathly afraid of amusement park rides. So the fact that you recovered enough to have a honeymoon at Frontier City I think that's lovely.
Thank you. And yeah, it was all my decision. I got to choose, and I chose that.
Well, so what kind of memories do you have of Frontier City?
Yeah, I love it. Every time I've been there ever in my life, it's just been great. You know, we would do like a band trip or a school trip growing up. You know, since I've been in youth ministry, not so much like in the last few years, but the first time they always did like a big like faith and fun day there where they had some kind of, you know, cheesy Christian concert going on at night and you just got to like run around and do stuff. So it's always so fun. I feel like I've always been there with a bunch of people, like again, like a class of people or like my whole youth ministry.
Right.
So that's what it's like 40 of us invading the whole thing, you know, and running around like crazy. I'm still pretty deathly afraid of rides. Like I'm so scared right this second. I'm so scared of rides, but I force through it every time. And so even the little rides at Frontier City, I'm still so scared, but here for it.
So you ride them anyway, though.
Oh, yes. But I'm so like, my butt is puckered so tight right now. Thinking about waiting in line for a roller coaster of any kind. I've still never ridden that ship. The ship is the epitome of fear to me.
Now, hold on. I have to talk here about the ship. I was just about to say, I am fine with roller coasters now. As long as I can scream like someone's being murdered.
Right.
And then so I'm letting out all this pent up energy that is, you know, that it causes that you get, you know? And so on our honeymoon, Andrea was like, "Hey, let's ride the ship." And I was like, "Of course. I've ridden everything else."
Yeah. And it just goes back and forth. Mm-hmm. Easy, right?
Right. The ship will be easy. And then I get on there and I'm like, "Oh no, this is making my belly do that weird flip flop." And then I'm like, stop the ride. No, I didn't do that.
And they'd have been like, sorry.
I told her. I told her to stop the ride, but I didn't tell the guy controlling the ride.
Yeah. So
why is that so bad? Is that so bad to you, Tushi? Do you hate the pirate ship the way that we do,
let
apparently?
me tell you something. The reason that I thought this would be a good topic is because I haven't been on an amusement park ride in probably 20 to 25 years. I don't know. It's been a long time.
Nice.
And things are different now. I wear, I found out that if I don't take my glasses off, I get really dizzy and sick to my stomach because I wear progressive lenses. And so I can't see really like everything's going in and out of focus. And so the first couple of times that I went, everything was bad. Everything was bad. I was terrified. Screams just bubbled forth. And I will say that ship was pretty darn scary. And I was like thinking it's going to be fine because it just goes back and forth. And it's not like you go over in a loop.
Right.
You just go up and you come back down. But there's something about how big it is and how insecure you are in your seat. and
Yes.
looking at
Yeah.
other people in the face across from you.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because it doesn't go all the way around, they don't feel compelled to harness
Right,
you
'cause
in
I
all
think
that
the
well.
centrifugal force keeps
But
you
you're like-
in place, but it doesn't feel like it's going to.
Yeah, but it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like it. Yeah, I totally.
So,
agree.
I went for the first time. So it was my boyfriend and his kids that I go with now. He's the one that bought me my season ticket, and they're 16 now. His 16-year-old is like, is Sherry going this time? Because they love to sit next to me while I'm screaming. They think it's hilarious that the old lady is like scared out of her mind. And that is one of the only reasons I get on those rides now. Because I still I like them. They're fine. But my butt's too wide. I can never get comfortable. It's just like all of these different things. But I really love making his child laugh. So even if it's at my expense.
We need to have a family get together.
Oh, wouldn't that be
Frontier
great?
City.
The price has gone down. Used to
yes.
it was like, how could I even with a Coke can, they'd say, bring your Coke can in and get $50 off or something. But even with a Coke can, it was way out of the price range of just a weekend excursion. But now it's pretty cheap. I think I got my season ticket for like $70, 60 or 70. That's for the season. So, I can go every day if I wanted to. And, but so the thing is, okay, so like when we were kids and it was Frontier City, it was more than just the rides. They had, Wild West shootouts, and they had the saloons, and they had, just so many opportunities to be Wild Westy. And it seems like that has gone way to the side now, but I've only been there in the winter, so I don't know if that stuff starts again in the summer.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think used to, like, it wasn't quite Silver Dollar City because they still have all that, like, super, fun kind of Westy things.
Right.
But it was kind of like an in-between part of a regular Six Flags and a Silver Dollar City. It used to be kind of a midpoint where, you had the shootouts and you had the, they were making taffy, I feel like, in there.
Yeah.
They're doing some of those things. And I do feel like, Six Flags, like, we have, people sitting and watching some guy blow glass and then walking away. That doesn't bring any money in. No one's buying that glass. And if you do, you don't want to walk around with this big, giant, hand-blown glass vase for the rest of the day when you're trying to ride the Wildcat. So I think they've kind of, cut out some of those experiences in favor of
the rides,
extreme things.
That's probably, it's probably just due to budget cuts, right?
Probably.
Just cutting
That's how
their spending.
Yeah. I do remember going with our grandparents and, and mom, and we would go not family picnics. The company picnics for Wolverine used to have their company picnic there. And so we went there. That was before Wopsel's time, though. I think it slowed down a lot once Wopsel was born. I don't know if we were just poorer or I don't know. But so
Mom always told me that she rode a roller coaster whenever she was pregnant with me.
Oh,
at Frontier City.
yeah.
So I've always believed that to be true. I guess that happened.
Well, yeah.
That's where you
Silver
were
Bullet,
born.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Nobody ever told you were born on the Wildcat.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Yes.
Turn 3.
Well, so I'm just really happy that I have gotten back into the swing of things. I figured out to take my glasses off so I don't get sick, so I can ride all of the rides. I even ride the loop-de-loops, which I'm not a big fan of the loop-de-loop rides, but I can. I can do it.
They've got that one at Frontier City. What's the name? It's a rattlesnake or something like that?
Diamondback.
Diamondback. That one is awesome. Have you ever ridden that one, Mopsel?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, big time. That's a great one.
That's the first one I rode. Cade, the 16-year-old that loves to watch me scream, was like, Sherry, you're going on this one with me first. And I was like, can I start on something smaller? Can I please?
Right.
And they were like, no.
That's like the most vicious one in the
You
park.
have to come on this one. I was like, but it's a loop. I don't know how to do this. And they were like, you're going to come on and get on this one with me. So I went in and stood in the line. I was shaking. I just knew I was going to die. And then I was okay when we were going forward on the loop. But as we started to rush, so this is the one where you go forward on the loop and then you stop and you go back on the loop. So on the way back, it's like every scream was just pulled forth from my body. And I couldn't stop it. And then whenever we got to the stopping point, there was a family waiting to get on, and they might have seen the terror on my face, and they saw Cade laughing, and they were like, "So how was it?" And I was like, I don't, it's fine. And the little kids were just standing there looking at me,
crying,
like, "Daddy, do I have to get on?
Do I have to?"
I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah. So that was my first ride in 25 years.
That's awesome.
Well, okay, y'all, let's rate Frontier City for all those people who don't live around here and don't know what they're missing. Tony, what do you rate it?
I rate it 4 out of 5 cowboys on a shoot 'em up. Because that's the thing.
Wait, I did want to bring that up. Sorry to interrupt our ratings, but isn't it weird that we would just like go stand all together and watch like these cowboys murder each other in the middle of the like?
They were
like
falling
the
off the balconies and yeah,
just shooting everybody. That seems so inappropriate.
I didn't like that because it was so loud. I didn't like that part.
Yeah, it's weird. Cowboys gonna shoot them up.
Well,
and usually they would make sure that you could tell who the bad guy was and who the good guy was by how they were dressed.
Yes. Yeah, the black cat's always the bad guy. Wop, so what do you rate Frontier City?
I'm going to rate Frontier City 1 out of 1 wet crotches.
Oh, no.
Did you guys ever ride the log ride and your crotch would get wet? And then you just had a wet crotch the rest of the day? That's my fondest memory. Just wet crotch all day.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Well, what's great is I never knew that would happen because I pee my pants as soon as I get in the door, and then I didn't know. I thought everybody was peeing their pants.
Well, I was gonna say that's the beautiful thing is wetting your pants. Either it did or it didn't. Either it's wet or it's not. So once it's wet from the log ride, well, then it doesn't matter what
all bets are off.
You just got to rinse.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they say don't pee in the pool. No one ever said don't pee on my log ride.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nope.
They thought it was implied. Sucks to be them. All right. Well, I rate Frontier City 10 out of 10 middle-aged, blood-curdling screams of abject terror.
Nice. 10 out of 10.
That sounds hilarious. Yes.
All right, guys. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe we got through another podcast. This is crazy. They're just piling up. So that's going to do it for us.
We got to do something with them. They're going to go bad just sitting here in the corner.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Thanks again to both Tammy R. and also Kim P. for their suggestions today. We would love to have some new, fresh suggestions, something that's hot on your mind. You can send those to us at reviews@kick.cool, and you could be on next week's episode.
Yeah.
That's very true. Very true. I would also like to thank the band Bugs for letting us use their theme song as our song as our theme song. They came out with a new album, so go buy it. It's called, oddly enough, Cooties.
Cooties in the Wall.
Yes.
Y'all got them cootie legs?
Hey, you guys find them cootie legs?
Thanks, Bugs. All right, so I guess we'll see you next week. I'm She.
I'm Tone.
And I'm Wop.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. I love you guys.
No, you don't.
I'm serious.
Prove it.